John Stuart Mill was a British philosopher. He lived in the 19th century. Mill was a leading thinker. He shaped liberalism and utilitarianism. Mill believed in individual freedom. He thought people should make their own choices. This freedom had limits, though. People should not harm others. Mill's ideas are still important today. They influence debates on free speech and individual rights. His work remains vital for understanding modern society. John Stuart Mill was born in London in 1806. London, during this period, was a bustling hub of intellectual and cultural activity, setting the stage for Mill's future contributions to philosophy and economics. His father, James Mill, was a philosopher and historian. James Mill was not just any philosopher, he was a close associate of Jeremy Bentham, the founder of modern utilitarianism. This connection deeply influenced the intellectual environment in which John was raised. John received a rigorous education at home. Unlike most children of his age who attended traditional schools, John's education was meticulously planned by his father. This homeschooling approach was designed to mold him into a scholar of the highest caliber. He learned Greek and Latin at a young age. By the age of 3, he was already reading Greek, and by 8, he had mastered Latin. This early exposure to classical languages laid a strong foundation for his later works. Mill's father was a strict disciplinarian. James Mill believed that a rigorous and demanding education was essential for intellectual development. He imposed a strict regimen of study and discipline on young John. He wanted his son to excel intellectually. James Mill's ambition was to create a prodigy who would continue his own intellectual legacy and contribute significantly to society. This education had a profound impact on Mill. The intense and comprehensive nature of his studies equipped him with a vast knowledge base and critical thinking skills that were unparalleled among his peers. He became a brilliant thinker. By his teenage years, John Stuart Mill was already engaging in sophisticated philosophical debates and writing essays on complex topics. However, the intense education came at a cost. The relentless pressure to excel and the lack of a typical childhood took a toll on his mental health. Mill suffered a mental breakdown in his early 20s. This period of crisis forced him to re-evaluate his life and the values he had been taught. This experience shaped his views on individuality and happiness. It led him to appreciate the importance of personal well-being and the need for a balanced approach to education and life. Mill's later works, including his essays on liberty and utilitarianism, reflect the profound impact of his early life and education on his philosophical outlook. Mill's breakdown led him to question his upbringing. He explored romanticism and poetry. This broadened his perspective. He began working for the East India Company in 1823. Mill continued to write on philosophy, politics, and economics. He became a respected voice in intellectual circles. He advocated for social reforms, including women's rights. His book, The Subjection of Women, in 1869 was groundbreaking. It argued for equal rights for women. John Stuart Mill is best known for his work on utilitarianism. This ethical theory focuses on happiness. It says actions are right if they promote happiness. Actions are wrong if they cause unhappiness. Mill believed in the greatest happiness principle. This means we should aim for the greatest good for the greatest number of people. This idea has been influential in shaping social policy. Section 5. Exploring Mill's utilitarianism. In his book Utilitarianism from 1861, Mill expands on this theory. He argues that pleasures are not all equal. Some pleasures are more valuable than others. For example, intellectual pursuits are higher pleasures than simple bodily ones. Mill also addressed criticisms of utilitarianism. Some argue it is impossible to calculate happiness. Mill countered that we can make general judgments about what brings happiness. Section 6. The Harm Principle. Defining the limits of freedom. One of Mill's most important contributions is the harm principle. This principle defines the limits of individual liberty. Mill argued that individuals should be free to do as they please. However, this freedom has limits. The only justification for limiting individual liberty is to prevent harm to others. This principle has been highly influential in legal and political thought. Section 7, on liberty, a cornerstone of individual rights. Mill's On Liberty, from 1859, is a powerful defense of individual freedom. He argues for freedom of thought, speech, and action. Mill believed that even wrong opinions can be valuable. They challenge our beliefs and make us defend them. He argued that conformity stifles progress. Society benefits from diverse perspectives and open discussion. These ideas are central to modern liberal democracies. Section 8, a champion for equality. Mill was a strong advocate for equality. He believed in equal rights for all individuals, regardless of gender or social status. He argued that women were capable of the same intellectual and moral development as men. He challenged traditional gender roles. He believed these roles limited women's potential. His work helped pave the way for women's suffrage and gender equality. Section 9, the enduring impact of Mill's ideas. John Stuart Mill's ideas have had a profound impact on modern thought. His work on liberty and utilitarianism continues to shape debates on individual rights, social justice, and the role of government. Mill's emphasis on individual freedom has been influential in the development of liberal democracies. His ideas continue to inspire those who fight for human rights and social justice. Section 10. Mill's vision in the modern world, a timeless relevance. In today's world, Mill's ideas remain strikingly relevant. His thoughts on liberty, individuality, and the role of society continue to influence contemporary discussions. The debates on free speech, censorship, and the limits of government power resonate with Mill's concerns. His advocacy for freedom of expression is echoed in modern movements that challenge authoritarianism and fight for civil liberties. His work provides a framework for navigating these complex issues. Mill's principles guide us in balancing individual rights with societal needs, offering a timeless blueprint for ethical governance. Mill's emphasis on critical thinking and open dialogue is crucial in an age of information overload. With the constant influx of data and opinions, his call for reasoned debate and evidence-based conclusions is more important than ever. His ideas encourage us to question assumptions and engage in respectful debate. In academic settings and everyday conversations, Mill's influence fosters a culture of intellectual curiosity and mutual respect. This is essential for a healthy democracy. By promoting active participation and informed decision-making, Mill's vision helps sustain democratic values and practices. His legacy reminds us that a vibrant democracy depends on the engagement and enlightenment of its citizens. Section 11, Conclusion, Mill's enduring legacy. John Stuart Mill left an indelible mark on Western thought. His contributions to philosophy, political theory, and economics have shaped the intellectual landscape of the modern world. His work continues to inspire and provoke deep thought among scholars, students, and thinkers across the globe. Mill's writings challenge us to reflect on the principles of justice, freedom, and the role of government in our lives. His ideas on liberty, utilitarianism, and individual rights are as relevant today as they were in the 19th century. Mill's advocacy for freedom of speech and expression laid the groundwork for modern democratic societies. Mill's belief in the power of reason and the importance of individual freedom remains a beacon for those who strive for a more just and equitable world. His vision of a society where individuals can pursue their own happiness as long as they do not harm others continues to resonate. His legacy reminds us that progress requires constant vigilance, open dialogue, and a commitment to the greatest good for all. Mill's thoughts on utilitarianism, which advocate for actions that promote the greatest happiness for the greatest number, challenge us to consider the broader impact of our decisions. Mill's influence extends beyond academia. It permeates our everyday lives. From the laws that govern us to the ethical decisions we make, his ideas encourage us to think critically and act compassionately as we navigate the complexities of the 21st century. Mill's enduring legacy serves as a reminder of the importance of balancing individual rights with the collective good. His work challenges us to strive for a society that values both personal freedom and social responsibility. In conclusion, John Stuart Mill's contributions to philosophy and social thought continue to be a guiding light. His ideas on liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness remain as vital today as they were over a century ago. Mill's enduring legacy is a testament to the power of thoughtful, principled, and compassionate inquiry.